Good morning, America. Welcome to Decision Making 2020. Had deplorable Kevin Clark here. Had to get out of Minnesota. As soon as they changed the curfew from, from 8 till 10, they were on 8 till 6. And I would sit in Anoka County, just north of the Twin Cities there, and I'd watch people get arrested for driving after curfew because they upheld it where I was. Unlike downtown, where they were allowing protesters to protest after the curfew. So in Minnesota, they don't mean what they say, and they don't say what they mean, and this is why they're burning the town down. It got to be a lot like the Hotel California, folks, where you can check in anytime you like, but you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. I left there 10 years ago. If I didn't have children there, I wouldn't ever go back. Minnesota sucks. Their law enforcement sucks. It always has. That's why the police have killed over 190 citizens. Yeah. Now, this feller that voted Democrat because he's in a democratic society and his Democrat buddies all stick together to let him off, like Amy Korbachev, who's to blame for George Floyd's death. There you go. Said it again. Amy, his death is on your head. You had a chance to take that boy's badge, and you decided you were going to give him a get-out-of-ticket-free card for jail and not prosecute. So you had your chance. It was his 10th or 12th time being brought up on excessive force charges, and you decided, you spun the wheel or flipped a quarter and decided he could go free today. Good choice. Win the Democrat votes. Now, I think it's funny that I didn't see any Trump hats down there at the protest. We don't need to protest. We can see that that's obscene, insane, murderous cop kill Mr. Floyd. Now we're trying to figure out how we can bring justice. We know burning down buildings isn't going to bring any justice. We know looting and stealing other people's merchandise isn't going to bring us any justice. Were those the 10-15% of bad people in America Joe Biden was talking about when he said that 10 to 15% of all Americans were bad? I don't call those guys Americans, all right? And they think Trump is mean and ornery and dirty, rotten, and white supremacist. I got news for you. You see somebody throw a brick, you shoot them. I'm not talking rubber bullets, okay? You shoot 4 or 5 of these looters, shoot them dead, they'll quit looting. Now we got, instead of 170 new businesses that were burned down, 70% of which were owned by black individuals, Americans, that get up every day, 6-7 days a week, bust their tail, work day and night for the American dream, to have their neighbors come and burn them down. 170 businesses in one night. You think if you started shooting the fire starters that we'd have had 170? No. You kill the first 3 and you got none left. All right? Or the other 3 that are left are going to decide to put their matches in their pocket and act like non-smokers that day. You won't be seeing any fires come out of them after 3 of their buddies are shot dead for starting fires. Excessive? No. Looting is excessive. Burning down private property is excessive. You want to do that? Let's go excessive, all right? We can stop you excessively. Ironic. I'm coming through Madison, Wisconsin. Another Democrat state. Saturday night. No looters, no arsons, no vandals, no thuggery, no one committing personal physical violence against other people are to be arrested. No looters arrested, no arsons arrested, nobody rioting arrested, no protesters arrested. But Sunday morning, you get 51 parishioners to your Catholic church, all 51 of you going to jail. Don't bring 60. We'll lock all 60 of you up. So in other words, you can't, in Madison, Wisconsin, you can't get 60 people together to pray, but you can bring 6,000 together to burn the town down. That's okay. Democrats, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I like the meme that I seen on Facebook. We're looting and we're burning down the place for George. George who? Soros or George Floyd? Which George you guys working for? George Soros got his foot in this thing. He's got all up in it, okay? He's funding these people. Out of all the films we got, we've only got 5 people that have been brought up on rioting charges. Really? And you think the Democrats really want to catch who the bad guys are? The Democrats don't ever want to catch the bad guys because they are the bad guys. They talk about Trump stirring up discernment or strife and separating our country. I love my brother in Minnesota. I just spent a couple weeks with him out there. And if you take politics out of the picture, we're pretty close to the same individual. We hold a lot of the same values in life. I can't understand, though. Now, he's not a Democrat and he's not a Republican, but he is an ever-Trumper. And he thinks that Trump is dividing the country. You're never going to bring baby killers together with people that want to save the precious life of an unborn child. These are monsters over there, okay? Over there. We're the deplorables. But having a Joe Biden moment here, I can't remember. Something Harris, the black gal that was a prosecuting attorney down in California. Love her. Can't remember her name because she's not worthy of remembering. Once I read her statement, said the only thing more precious than a newborn baby is the right to kill it. Now, when I read that, Kamala Harris, yeah, piece of poop. They're all pieces of poop over there. They all lie. They live their lies. In the media's got half of America baffled with bullshit because that's all they do. They lie on our president this morning with the clip that he said something about George Floyd looking down from heaven and is pleased with the great economy. That was not said. Nothing even close to that was said. So here we go. You idiots got Russia. I don't have enough fingers and toes for how much you're claiming Russia. We've got a Russian insurgent in the White House. Putin's got his man in the White House. Trump works for Russia. Are you kidding me? Have you guys really got people out there on the Democratic Party that's stupid enough to believe that garbage? Is that why you're reporting it? Are the people that listen to you really that stupid? That's what I want to know. How dumb is America? I've put Nancy Pelosi up on my Facebook over 30 times. They keep pulling it down with her teaching the new Democrat congressman how to lie to get your bills passed and your agenda done. You lie to the media until they report it. And then once they start reporting it, then everybody will believe it. Same crap that Hitler used to use on the Nazis. It's Nazi tactic. Tell a lie enough times and people will start to believe it. Trump's not trying to tear this country apart. Trump's trying to bring it back together. And when they all sat around and waited for the jobless rate to come out, because they wanted us to have another 10, 15 million Americans unemployed, the Democrats love the virus. You look at all the stupid states with the stupid rules with quarantine, and you got a Democrat topping every single one of them. I'm stuck here in Half-Whitmore, Michigan. Yeah, half-wit. You're stuck at home, but you can't paint the bedroom. You might give yourself the coronavirus. You're in the house because you can't water your lawn or plant grass seed or flowers or even a garden to feed your family because you'll put the coronavirus on the tomato plants. Now, even though you can't paint or do anything nice to the inside of your house while you're locked in there, after you've been locked up in there for a month with your son, you two can't go fishing because you might give him the coronavirus. Okay. I'm still waiting to hear in the comment section, please put it in there, how outlawing jet skis is going to save anybody from getting the coronavirus. Now, who are you going to spread the coronavirus to on a jet ski? Come on now, folks. If you look at the laws and the things these Democrats are passing, if they had a brain, it'd be lonely. Let's just keep the states closed. I happen to buy and sell cars. I got to do title work from Florida to Michigan. Well, Half-Wit's got it so that now it's appointment only. And I call for my appointment. It can't get me into the end of August. That's like 14 weeks out. Are you kidding me? Open up the doors, put masks on all your monkeys, and send them in to take care of business. Then we'll get this crap done in about 2 weeks instead of 2.5 months. But that's a deplorable way of doing it. That's awful. We can get caught up in 2 weeks instead of 2 months. Republican, Democrat. Republican, Democrat. Decision making. You going to continue to be a baby killer come November and vote for Democrats that want full term? I told my buddy this in Minnesota. He said, there's no way that's real, Kevin. There's no way that they're going to... That's murder. Have a baby being born and then let it die? Full term? I said, yeah, Virginia, New York, it's a law. They've been doing it now for months. No, that'll never happen in the U.S. Well, of course, lamestream media don't report that crap when they put those laws on the book because they don't want the deplorables to know just how deplorable they've become. Watch them, folks. Whatever they're accusing Trump of is what they're doing. Been that way from the very beginning. Let's start out with Russia collusion and the Hillary Clinton fake dossier that she paid for trying to frame Trump. She's the dirtiest wench that's ever been in politics. And there's some people out there stupid enough to think she'd make a good president. She's already sold our country out to the Russians on their uranium deal. She sold us out to everybody that she could get money from. And then she wants to be our president? God stepped in and saved that one because she cheated her ass off. She used billions of dollars of campaign money to upset Donald Trump and to win that election. That's why they haven't been able to get over it. They never will get over losing that election. They're never going to get over losing the 2020 election. They're already working on their new impeachment strategy. All they've done is try to impeach him from before he even got sworn in. The coup has started. 20 minutes after swearing, the lawyer for the whistleblower said the coup has begun. It's a coup, folks. They're trying to overthrow our president, overturn a duly elected official. Because they got people like Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff who cannot tell the truth under any circumstances whatsoever. They're perpetual liars. And these people are the type of people that lie so much. Here's the scary part, okay? They lie so much, they believe it themselves. That's what you call living a lie. And they teach you that in Alcoholics Anonymous. Like when you first get there and you say, well, I like to drink, but my drinking never hurt nobody. Let's go back and look at your bills, pal. Your family's been suffering since the day they were born because of your stupidity. And that's pretty much the way things are going with the Democrats. They're living a lie. They lie so much they start believing it and then they live it, okay? That guy's family's been hurt. Every time he takes a drink, he's taking money away from his kids. That's living a lie. Russia, 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 Russia. Collusion, collusion, collusion. They just won't quit. These are people, the only thing worse on earth, I've said this before, than the coronavirus is TDS, okay? And these people have it so badly, like Nancy Pelosi and Governor Gavin, her nephew, that have sold California out to the drug cartel. I'm just kind of curious, what's California worth these days? You guys each getting 25, 50 billion. What are you getting? You getting 25, 20 billion each a year? I mean, Nancy, you're worth 130. Without bribes or insider trading, you should be worth about 5, 6 million. 10 at the very most, if you were wise in your investments. But I took insider trading out of there because you're guilty of that. But you can't make 111 million even with insider trading, because I do know a little bit about the markets. Too much money, Nancy. You're taking bribes. You're dirty. You dirty. You're so dirty. I just want to know how dirty you really are. Okay? What's California worth these days? Folks, have you got any idea how much the cartel's paying Nancy per year to keep that sanctuary city open and that sanctuary state to her governor? Put it in the comment section. I noticed how they've kind of backpedaled on the coroner's report, seeing as how they brought in a second one. First coroner report got the police off scot-free, no problems there. Kind of like the ostrich with his head in the sand. Nope, ain't nothing going on around here. Well, the second coroner's report kind of straightened things up, and now the cause of death is murder. Murder. These guys are dirty in Minnesota. Now, I just heard briefly that they're talking about clearing out the complete police department. That's the first damn thing I've heard them say that was halfway make any sense since this whole thing started. You got a cop with 18 prior complaints of excessive force, 2 ending in disciplinary actions. Now, let's roll the camera back here, folks. Remember, Amy Korbachev could have took his badge, gave him a pass, didn't prosecute. Amy Korbachev had the little Asian gentleman in front of her, too, for excessive force, and gave him a pass, too. Now, coincidence? I think not. Got 2 dirty cops working the same scene. Oh, and by the way, the killer, he's also involved in 4 different police shootings that ended in a civilian death. We call them cowboys where I come from. And there's one way to cure a cowboy. Get a rope. Tie him to the car and drag him. We learned that one from American Graffiti. When you got a cowboy, just tie him to the car and drag him. Yeah, This guy killed somebody. I don't care if the person he killed, the perp, was wanted on 16 different felonies. Number one, that would never happen in Minnesota because they don't prosecute nobody. Maybe nobody except for blacks. I know white cops and Asian cops don't get prosecuted for an abundance of force. 2 out of 4 of the police have already had charges against them, and the other 2 were less than a week on the job. And the new ones were the ones saying, don't you think we ought to roll them over? Now that's pretty damn sad when you got a know-nothing rookie telling an out-of-control cop, we need to roll them over. That's just plain common sense, but obviously that officer had zero of that. None. I mentioned he was a Democrat. Okay, I just wanted to get that out there, okay? Everybody in Minneapolis is a Democrat. That's why their swamp is as deep as it is. They need to get rid of their governor. They need to get rid of their mayor in Minneapolis. I think the guy in St. Paul should stay. He seems like a level head. But the rest of them I wouldn't give you 2 cents for. Your prosecuting attorney is a member of Antifa. He's got an Antifa handbook he endorses. That was 6 months ago. I don't know. Maybe he don't feel that same way now that they came into town and burned half his towns down. Maybe he don't like them no more. I'll bet he's just stupid enough to still endorse them. Any bets? I know. I lived out there for 37 years. They're idiots. Always have been. Always will be. But then again, they were Democrat run while I was out there. Any coalition with that? I think maybe so. Why is it that the lowest economies, the highest unemployment, the highest murder rates across the country always come out of a Democratic run community? Folks, Decision Making 2020. If you've ever claimed to have known God, or if you've ever claimed to have had a personal experience with him, and you've turned your back and walk away, it's time to come back to the right side. Come back to the light and not the dark. We need people to show up at the voting booths and vote their hearts, okay? Now, if you really think that's a good idea to kill babies and to be prejudiced and to be race-baited, vote your Democrats. They're your ones. They've always hated blacks. They always will. They've got some token blacks in their team because some people do anything for money. Like Nancy Pelosi, who sells out her own race every day to the Mexican drug cartel. She hates our president so bad that she hates our president worse than she loves her children or her family. She would rather see the nation and the city and the whole country go down the tubes and become more dangerous for both her and her children than to see Trump reelected. She'd rather create danger for every single individual in the country than to see Trump reelected. Folks, are you listening to me now? This is what you're working with. And now, once they drop the bomb on we've just gained 2.4 million jobs, it went up instead of down. They were thinking we were going to get 10 to 20 million reported more unemployed. They went nuts. They had to create a lie that Trump said. They said he said, which he didn't say. Of course, lamestream media doesn't report the truth, never has, never will, since Obama struck down the Smith-Mandel Act, which up until that point, it was against the law to use propaganda on U.S. citizens. Only foreign soil, not U.S. citizens. Before that, if you were a newscaster and you lied, you got fired. Now they promote it. Now they encourage it. Look at the young man that was standing there when a guy with a drum, Native American, walked up and got in his face. He's made out to be a deplorable antagonistic young man. He was standing still. The guy walked up to him, and because CNN's so stupid, they made up a lie. They had to pay for that lie to the tune of millions. But they don't care. As long as they can spread a destructive, prejudiced story about a Republican, they will pay millions of dollars to do it. And yet we're deplorables. Let that sink in. Folks, I'm going to wrap this up. It went way too long. Minnesota's a hot mess. They need your prayers. Our president's doing real good. He needs your prayers too. You guys have a blessed day. Let me know if you got a certain topic you'd like to hear about. I'll do some due diligence, tear into it like a pit bull, and not let go until I got it all. If you've got inside information or video, let me know about it. Send it to me. I get so many videos now that I'm doing these things. Some of them are fun to watch. Some of them are funny. Some of them just make you sick to your stomach, like when they moved the body and they tampered with the crime scene. When the sheriff's department commandeered that ambulance and came in and took the body away so they couldn't declare it dead on the scene, which at that point the coroner takes over and they have their investigation they have to do. That body would have laid there 10, 12 hours if it was done legally. And they didn't want that. They were on a massive cover-up from the very jump street. They knew they killed a guy and they had to kill it covered up. And they killed him on camera, so you can't really cover that up. But you can't tell the Democrats that. They're so used to lying, they think they can lie their way out of anything. Really? Folks, pray for our president, pray for our country. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out of here. Have a blessed day.